Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to discuss about the graphs of tangent and cotangent functions. So we're done with the first four circular functions. So most of you said that the most difficult functions nga i-graph among the circular functions are these two. So we are now going to discuss step by step the process of tangent and cotangent. At the same time, we will also identify ang iyahang similarity and differences with the first four. So let's begin first with graphing y is equal to tangent x. Okay, so y is equal to tangent x. Ang tangent x is just the ratio of our sine x and the cosine x. So therefore, cosine x must not be equal to 0. So if makadumdum mo, this is similar to our secant x, diba? Ang secant x, the reciprocal of our cosine x. So the cosine x also must not be equal to 0. So therefore, they share the same domain such as the x is an element of a real number such that cosine x must not be equal to 0. And what are those values nga ma-0 ang atong cosine x? Yes, then those are the values that is multiples of 90 degrees or pi over 2. So, mo na siya nga i-avoid na to ang mga values ni pi over 2 and its multiples kay dito ang mag-undefined ang ato ang function. In other words, those values are our vertical asymptotes. So, this is the domain of our tangent x or our tangent function. X is an element of a real number such that x must not be equal to the k pi all over 2, where k is an odd integer. So let us start graphing the tangent x by considering first its table of values. So makita nato diri ang iyahang values of x, negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. Si pi over 2 and negative pi over 2, these are the values where asa mag-undefined ang ato ang y is equal to tangent x. And this is also composed of one period or the one cycle of our tangent x. So, para makita nato no, giun sa pag-obtain sa mga values ni y is equal to tangent x. So, based ani nga, gi-divide nato si sin x ni cosine x. So, moong na-obtain nato ni sila. So, we have negative 1 divided by 0. That's why it is undefined. When x is negative pi over 3, our sin x is negative square root of 3 over 2. And our cosine x is 1/2. So, kung i-divide nato na sila duha, si sine divided by cosine, so the result is negative square root of 3, and it follows the same process. So, manotice ninyo no nga, pare-pareha man siya value, pero ang kalainan lang is ang iyahang sign. So, unsa itsura ani niya ini graph. So, somebody asked me in our live class nga ngano ina ang forma sa graph. So, this is now the reason, no? Ang mga values na naa dinhi sa iyahang table. Okay, so ato lang i-graph ang iyahang one cycle based on our table of values. Take note that since naka-radicals man ang values sa ato ang tangent x, we can convert this into its decimal form para mas dali nato sila malocate. So first, construct a Cartesian plane, and of course, the domain. Dapat naka-division siya accordingly with spaces, and identify first its vertical asymptote. So, naka-identify na siya ng negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So, this is denoted by our red broken line. And then, let us start plotting the points. So, in negative pi over 3, the value of our y is negative 1.73, negative 1, negative 0.58, 0, and so on. And after that, we are going to connect it with a smooth curve. But in this video, it's not smooth because I'm not so good in drawing. Okay, so imagine na lang na siya ang smooth curve na siya. Basta ina na iyang dagwan. So let us see the graph of y equals tangent x with multiple cycles. So as you noticed, ang iyang mga asymptotes is katong mga multiples ni pi over 2, di ba? Kita na nato sa graph. So in between sa iyang asymptotes is the one cycle of our tangent x. So, this one, mo ni siya ang atong graph ganina. Kana siya. Okay. So, now let's proceed to the graph of y is equal to cotangent x. So, our cotangent x is just the reciprocal of our tangent x. So, Sa atong tangent x, sine over cosine man. So, baliktaron lang nato siya. Pag-abot nato kay cotangent x. So, we have cosine x over sine x, where sine x must not be equal to 0. So, ang kaning cotangent x, nag-share po ni sila the same domain ni cosecant x. Okay, so, this time we are going to avoid the values that will make sine function 0. And those values are the multiples of pi. So, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, and so on. Because that will make sine function 0. So, kung 0 atong sine function, ma-undefined atong cotangent function. So, let us compare the table of values of our tangent x and our cotangent x. Okay. So here, we started with negative pi over 2, 2 pi over 2. And here, we started with 0 to pi, which is cycle. If ma-notice ninyo si tangent x and si cotangent x, they have the same period, which is pi. Okay, so makita nato nga sa 0, if x is 0, ma-undefined si cotangent. Meanwhile, kung diri sa tangent, kung 0 siya diri, 0 ang iyong value. So, opposite sila. I think that's all about the table of values. Kabalo nang matanawa na nila. So, let's proceed to graphing. The same process. So, I put 0 to pi. One cycle lang niya. So, we have the asymptotes 0 and at pi. Diba? Makita man natin sa table of values here. Okay, so let us plot the points. If it is pi over 6, our cotangent x is 1.73, or that is square root of 3. There. Okay, and then the same manner, we are going to plot the points. And it is not a smooth curve, pero dapat smooth good ang curve. Okay, so pareha na sila og dagway actually sa graph ng tangent x, kaya lahi ang ilang direction. So if we're going to look at the graph of y equals cotangent x with multiple cycles, so muna iyang itsura. Okay, so ang iyahang mga asymptote is the multiples of pi. We have negative 2 pi, negative pi, we have 0, we have pi, we have 2 pi, and so on. So, ganina sa atong graph, mo ni siya ang atong one cycle. Diba? Have the same appearance. Okay. Not all the time that the equation is just equal to y equals tangent x, y is equal to cotangent x, because there is a general form of the equation. We can have the graph of y is equal to a tangent bx and y is equal to a cotangent bx, and you know already about the purpose of a and the purpose of b, the a and b. Pero in graphing the tangent and cotangent, useful ang kang b. Okay, anong useful? Mga nakaiwan na useful. Okay. We have to follow the steps in order to graph those equations. So, first, determine the period. So as I said earlier, ang tangent x o cotangent x has the same period, which is pi, diba? So, that's why we have the formula pi over b. Pi over b. Sa ilahan na duha, applicable na sa. Diba sa cosine o sa sine, ang atong formula sa koan, period kay 2 pi over b. It's because 2 pi is the period of the both functions. But this time, since pi man ang period ni tangent at ni cotangent, so we have pi over b. So we have the interval negative pi over 2b and the going to pi over 2b para lang na siya kay tangent function, while 0 to pi over b for y is equal to cotangent function. Okay, so kung na-notice ninyo, kani sila mo ni ang mga vertical asymptotes nga akong i-discuss ganina while I presented the table of values. So for y is equal to tangent bx, mo ni ang iyang vertical asymptotes. For y equals cotangent bx, mo po ni iyang mga asymptotes. So first step, identify the period and the interval. Second step, identify the vertical asymptotes. Third steps is we are going to get the 3 division points between the asymptotes, just like the previous topic na itong discussed in graphing the sine and cosine. And fourth, evaluate. And fifth, we are going to plot the points and connect them with smooth curve. Okay, let's have an example. Sketch the graph of y is equal to 1/2 tangent to x. First step, we are going to identify b, which is 2, obviously. And since nakita man ta kay b, maka-identify na din sa iyang period, which is given by the equation pi over b. So, substitute lang nato siya, that is pi over 2. And we also got the interval, follow lang ta sa resolution, sa formula niya, i-times lang nato si 2 by the value of b which is 2, so mahimo siyang 4. So therefore, one cycle of this graph is from negative pi over 4 going to positive pi over 4. Okay, the second step, of course, the asymptotes. And obviously, those are the intervals. Kani. After that, we are going to divide the interval into 4 equal parts. So, pag divide na sa 4 equal parts, makakuha ta og 3 division points. Nga pwede na to i-evaluate dito sa atong function. So, the same ra gihapon no sa last time na to nga gi-discuss sa pag-divide. We will just use the concept of the midpoint formula. So, we will add first the negative pi over 4 and pi over 4 divided by 2, so that is 0. Next, 0 plus negative pi over 4 divided by 2 here and there. Okay, step 4. We are going to evaluate the function. Okay, so in evaluating the function, i-substitute lang nato ang values ni x diri akang x. So, to make it shorter, ako na siyang gidiretso og evaluate and we obtain negative 1/2. We have 0 and 1/2. So, I will leave the checking for you kung yun sa na siya pag-come up ani nga mga values. And after that, on our 5th step, plot and graph. So, first, determine na to ang asymptote. So, ito mga asymptotes niya. Here, negative pi over 4 and pi over 4. And then, plot tayo na to ang points. Kung ang x na to is negative pi over 8, we have the value of y which is 1/2. 0, 1/2. And connect. So, kung daghan na cycle ang require sa inyo, mo ni ang dagway sa inyong graph. Okay. So, this is the end of my discussion. Now, it's your turn to sketch the graph of y is equal to 2 cotangent x over 3 on the interval 0, 3. So, there is no solution for this because I want you to solve this on your own. So, if you have the answer, pwede rin yun i-submit sa ako through personal message on my Facebook account. So, that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something. Kung naa pa may kalibugan about graphing tangent and cotangent, feel free to send me a message. So, thank you. God bless you all.